What's the word? What's the word? Welcome to another episode of What's the Word podcast. I got two of my guys, my best friends in the same building. I got my man G and my man Left. What's good, fellas?
What's
What up?
good,
What up?
Drew?
What
What's
up?
going on, man?
Yo, I brought y'all up here because one, I respect your IQ when it comes to all sports, but especially basketball. And I've been having a lot of back and forth with a lot of younger kids and dudes our age on who do you feel had the better era of skilled players? Like the era where we grew up watching or the players now? Either of you could go first. It don't matter.
Go ahead, Gio.
Um, the, today's kids have much more skill because of the way the game is played, man. Um, no hand checking. You can basically just get to the hole without getting abused, hurt, elbow, like you did back in the day. So your body, you don't have to be as physical or as big. There's more finesse to the game, and finesse usually means having more skill. So yes, I think there's no question that today's kids are more skilled because I tell you guys all the time they draft different now. Also, Giannis is a big now. No matter
Yeah.
what you think, he 14 rebounds and 27 points a game. He's a big. He's
Yeah.
the Shaq of this era when it comes to dominance and in the paint, and that's what bigs do now. Well, Joel, 27, and a lot of that comes from the free throw line outside the paint. 10 rebounds because he's always outside the paint, guarding another dude outside the paint. Um, it's hard to have 14 rebounds a game right now, being the way basketball's played with five dudes on the perimeter. So for you to have 14, almost 15 rebounds a game, tough. And that's why I think is you draft more finesse and you got dudes getting away with it. Not like dudes ain't shoot the three before, Bill Lane Beard, Jack Sigma, big dudes shot the three before. But it wasn't the way it is now where you drafting different type of athletes. You drafting Robert Horry. Like that's what you want to find, the dude that fits in that mold. But because Robert Horry was 6'11", shooting three early, bringing the big out. Houston was playing that way, and that's why I think these dudes are more skilled. Yeah.
What's up, Left? Talk about it.
I mean, I feel the same way about that. Today's players is more skilled than the players that we grew up watching. But what I'll say is I don't understand. I don't really think that might be a good thing. Everybody's training better. They changing the game. Is positionless basketball now. It's basically wings and bigs, or no, wings and ball handlers, and that's about it, But with that comes role players wanting bigger roles. The biggest difference that I see when I came up, growing up watching basketball, role players played their role with pride and didn't really get out of character.
Gotcha.
Because guys are more skilled now, you just got more people wanting that rock. They want their own team. They want more shots, more opportunities. And sometimes it causes the team not to be so good, even though because you got too much greatness or too much skill on a team, and making it mesh. It's look at the Lakers. They said, "Why y'all got Rondo? He can't shoot. Y'all need shooters." Rondo was the third best player on the team. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to be a shooter, But I don't honestly, I don't know what's better. I think these guys are better now, but I don't know if it's actually been better for the game.
You in and out with it. Your connection is in and out with it.
It's going
Yeah, it was. That's that. That's that Gotham City Wi-Fi. You heard?
That's that United Nations.
That's Batman right there.
Nah, but it's still coming out wrong.
Yo,
Yeah, I can't.
he got the cloud on Wi-Fi, bro.
It's the microphone.
You covering the mic when you talk?
Hello? Yeah, I don't.
Now you mute. Now you muted. You muted. Nigga Lefty is the most
That's a full my name.
Yeah. You got it muted. Yo, you muted. Yo, how many Dominicans it takes to use Wi-Fi, G? Amazing. I love being Puerto Rican because we be knowing, son. We be fucking knowing. Huh?
You stupid.
That nigga Lefty crazy, man. I mean, I agree. I just think that now, too, also, it's positionless basketball, like he said, where when we grew up, I think it was better position players because your point guards played a role. And then you had, your Isaiah Thomases and all that get buckets, but your point guards played a role. Your shooting guards played a role. Everybody played a role. So I just think it was different like that. You know what I mean?
You had Charles Oakley's, you had Bill Cartwright's, you had dudes that would never be in this NBA.
Ever again. Like I was arguing that with my man. I'm like, yo, they're not drafting Alonzo Mourning first, second, or third right now.
At all, probably.
It's not happening. That's not happening. That's not a thing of this generation.
No.
That nigga left the whole bag up.
Mutombo's like Taco Falls right now.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah. That nigga never gonna see the court.
Yeah, that's the most disrespectful shit I ever heard in my life. He said Mutombo is like Taco Fall right now. Yeah, it's definitely how they look at him. Because look at Manu's son. Manu's son, ooh.
Yeah, but he's frail. Like he's athletic. He shoot the three and all that. He's different. His game is not like a physical game. He fits this NBA.
Yeah.
7 shooter.
Yeah.
He different. That boy different.
It's shit crazy. You gotta jump 12 feet in the air to block that shit.
You can't. That nigga could. That nigga within range from anywhere. He level with the basket.
Yeah, 7.
Shoot. Yeah, that nigga different.
Yeah, he let that thing go.
Bobo.
You think this draft coming up is gonna be serious, bro?
I don't know, man. Like you said last time, we didn't see much of the tournament. We didn't see none of that.
We didn't see nothing.
We didn't see the conference tournament. We didn't see shit.
You think they got over?
Who?
You think the path to the NBA this year would be easier for the kids because they didn't have to show as much and they can go more off of what is known about them than what they actually showed because of the seasons being cut short, there being no NCAA tournament and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to find like that sleeper in the draft. Like, I think if scouts, they're going to work these kids out, but I think scouts going to have to go off what they knew before this year.
Exactly.
As far as in-game shit or during, like it's going to be difficult.
Basically, they basically judging them off of their high school careers.
Yeah.
More so than college because they didn't get March.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then their workouts when they come into their facilities and work out, but that's only convenient for some of the top picks.
Yeah.
What about the kids that nobody know about? They didn't get a chance to shine in the tournament, their conference tournament. That they those kids is gonna make it much more difficult for them. If you were already on the radar, then you're gonna stay on the radar. But the kids that Like a kid like CJ McCollum, you don't have a tournament to showcase playing against Duke. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're Duke 35. Because before that, CJ McCollum wasn't a prospect.
Yep.
But then you saw him play against Duke, and even I'm like, who the fuck is this kid? Like, the fuck? This kid is a pro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He ended up in the NBA. So I think it's gonna affect those kids more than the Cole Anthonys and Edwards and LaMelo and them dudes. Wiseman. I think it's gonna affect the the prospects that are on the bubble.
Got you.
Or maybe kids that nobody even heard of. Like they were never on the radar, and they go inside the tournament and have 27, hit 6'3".
That's what I'm saying. Like the kids that could have rose their stocks, didn't get that opportunity.
Right. So now, where you got a kid that everybody knew about since high school, turning pro now, who may not be as good as a junior or senior that would have proved it in the tournament. So it's going to be harder for them kids to make teams in the NBA. Where these kids that people already knew about and that they're willing to give an opportunity to, they get that guaranteed money, first round money. That's good. That's good bread. That's just good bread. Like whether you pan out or not, that can change your life.
Yeah, that's life changing.
Whether you pan out or not, where now how you gonna find that sleep in the first round? A lot of mistakes can be made this year also.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Kids will get drafted that maybe weren't supposed to get drafted.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see these kids play 5-on-5s. So the mistake aspect, the mental IQ aspect of the game, you don't know nothing about really.
Yeah, at all.
Right. So
at all.
It's different.
I think, like, you think, okay, for example, a kid like Cole Anthony, right?
He's already dropping. He went from he's about 14th, 15th right now in almost every mock draft I see.
Yo,
left.
Yo, dime a ver.
You good, brother?
Yeah, the phone died like some bonehead shit. You already know, turnover. Unforced turnover at that.
I'm a recap real quick what I had said about as far as like the skill players versus our era, like let's say, because we're older than the kids now. I was telling Gio, it's like what you said. It was now it's more positionless basketball, where so when we grew up, a point guard played a point guard role. A shooting guard did what a shooting guard does. Your threes and your fours did what they do. And then, like we were saying, Gio made a reference. He said the Kembe Mutombo in today's NBA is Taco Fall. There's like those bigs won't even get drafted how they got drafted when they came into the NBA now.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you, B. I would think Houston would never trade Capella, B. You feel me?
That was crazy.
Word.
What do you think about this draft class, Twin?
Man, to be honest, I haven't been up on it except for the kid from Georgia. That they say he's good money, and they keep saying this ball kid is another one, but I'm really not big on it, and I hear that nobody else is big on it in the NBA.
Have you seen Cole Anthony play?
I've seen him. Yes, I have seen him.
What do you think about him?
I think this is what I think. You know what I think about him? I think he had a subpar college year, but with his quickness and his skill set, athleticism, that 3-second defensive rule will benefit him in the NBA. But I'm holding my ground on him, let's just say.
Got you. And another question I asked G was, do you think that the path for these college kids getting in the NBA this year may be a little easier because of the fact that there were no upsets? They didn't have to show out in March. Like they're basically going off of what was known about them, opposed to having to prove it in the NCAA tournament and in their conference play. in a full college season.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It works both ways, right? When the guy that's the best player in college and did it all in college and then doesn't do it at the next level, you know? So it works both ways. Some guys are gonna sneak in there and they not gonna be able to stick around, and some guys that sneak in there are gonna surprise you, you know. But yeah, it's gonna be easier, you know, to answer the question. A lot of people are gonna be able to just go in on past and nothing current.
And in the same breath, it makes it harder for the kids that might have needed March to show that they can be players at the next level as well.
Yes, yes, a lot of people did miss their opportunity, but again, man, this stuff is always hard. You know what I mean? It's always hard, even when you get that opportunity and you show out. It's just hard, man.
Yeah, for getting that first round contract, that changed your life right there, man. Like,
Yeah, that's a fact.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be a mistake, but that mistake made you set you for life.
No, that mistake. Listen, let's get
That's
this
like
clear.
guaranteed 3 years.
That mistake is a guaranteed 3 years.
That's right.
3 years, and then there's an option for fourth and fifth,
Yeah,
and that's
so
on
you
the
know,
team.
if you're not good enough, you don't get to that option.
Right, but you got 3 years. You
Right,
got
right,
3 years.
guaranteed. Little pension too. I hear after 3 years, I believe. After
No,
3 years,
no,
you get a
no,
little pension.
no,
Three
not up.
seasons?
3 seasons, 3 full seasons.
All
I
right,
believe
if
they
that's
send you a little
true,
check. They
if
send you a
that's
little check.
true, the pension is based on how good you did. You do. You understand what I'm saying?
For
No,
real?
it depends on your service, just like
Of
any other
course, like
union.
Charles Barkley and
So
Charlie
it,
Ward ain't gonna get the same pension.
no,
Got
it depends. It depends on how long you played. It depends on how long you played and your era.
Exactly, and what you did when you played.
No,
Like
no,
what? Of
no.
course, that's why they keep track of the stats. Michael
No,
Jordan's
no.
pension is crazier than anybody else's.
I don't believe that.
Really?
No, I don't believe that. I believe that we're all in the union and our pension is the same pension. Like, I don't believe it's by how
All right.
much money you made.
I can't argue that because I don't know it for a fact. But I don't
Right,
see
right.
like Kenny Satt wasn't fighting for the same pension that Michael Jordan's getting.
Kenny said, man, I got the pension. He did 2.5 years. He may have not got that pension.
He didn't get it. He
Right.
was trying to get in to
Two-
get it.
2.5 years he did. You guaranteed after 3 you get you get a little chicken, which is good chicken.
Does it matter how much you put into it?
What's the difference between you and me? What, your game and your how many minutes you played and how many minutes
No.
I
I'm talking
played?
about how much you pay into the pension, because they take that out of your money.
Right, they take that out your money.
So that's what I'm saying. Do you think
So,
that the players that get paid more money put in more, and maybe that's why they get more at the back end?
No, what I'm saying is when we're discussing these kids and their first contract, it can be much. It's all the same.
Got you.
Like, you can't think that a kid on his first contract and the dude in his 10th year, like Anthony Davis, about to be and get anything he wants. You can't calculate that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the kids that never make it, that don't make it to that point where you get a pension, or you just get to that point where you get a pension. Because they only allow you to make a certain amount of money in your first contract and second contract. It's not like you can make as much like baseball where they can give you any type of contract they want.
Gotcha.
There's a money scale to where your first contract is depending on where you get drafted, or if you're a free agent. Like if you're a rookie free agent, there's a pay scale for that. There's a pay scale for every slot in the first round, and then the second round is never guaranteed. The second round contracts aren't guaranteed, and that's where
But that's what a lot is.
That's
The
what
first
Steph
13 is guaranteed 3 years.
Yeah, the first round is guaranteed 3 years, right? And that's what I was telling
The
you.
first
No, the
13,
lottery. Isn't it the lottery picks?
No,
only the
first round
lottery
period.
picks.
Every first round pick is
No, it
guaranteed
can't
contract.
be.
Look it up. Look it up right now while we're talking. Every first round pick is a guaranteed contract. The second round is not guaranteed. Look it up. Look it up. Your first round pick, you got a guaranteed contract. You just don't make the same money being a 13th pick as the 30th pick in the draft. No. As
Nah, I
you go
don't
down
think
the
that's
draft.
right, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look it up. Look it
Listen,
up. Look
look,
it up.
look,
It's
look.
easy. It's easy, man.
All
I'm gonna
right,
look it up while
all
y'all
right.
talk. I'm gonna hear y'all speak. I'm gonna look it up. Cause this ain't live anyway.
No,
First round.
You looking it up, Drew?
No.
Okay.
Yo, what's up with these Knicks? They
I'm almost
trying
sure
to
about
load
that.
up with everybody.
trying to what?
Trying to load up with everybody.
What's everybody with those
I heard
people
they
that
want Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, Kuzma.
they losing to Brooklyn. Right? They trying to do something, even if it's for fake. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's for fake, they trying to do something.
He
Because
said even if it's for fake. Brooklyn's coming out the East next year, twin.
listen,
You a
Uh,
Celtics fan.
listen,
I
guys.
gotta hear this.
Contracts for all first round picks are guaranteed for only the first 2 years and limited to 4 years overall. But the teams hold the options for year 3 and 4. So every first round pick's contract is guaranteed for 2
Guaranteed.
years. For
2
2
years.
years.
2
But you
years.
get to that third year, and that's when the NBA gives you that pension. I could also look that up.
and
Show you
check
that.
if the lottery. Check the
No,
lottery.
no. Every contracts for all first round picks are guaranteed for the first 2 years. First pick to 30th pick. Contracts for all first round picks are guaranteed for the first 2 years and limited to 4 years overall.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
the
it.
teams hold options for years 3 and 4. So the first 2 years are guaranteed off the back every first round pick in the NBA. But I knew that. I thought it was three. I thought it was three.
No, the option is 3. That's why they mainly do
The
it.
option is 3 and 4. Right. Right. The option is three
Got
and
you.
four. But you get your guaranteed 2 years. But the pension is guaranteed is three after 3 years.
Oh, you get the pension for life after your third year.
After your third NBA season. Complete third NBA season. So a dude that just makes past 3, 4 years, his money is gonna be minimal because his contract was minimal, unless you're a
Yeah.
third pick. You know what I'm
But
saying?
that's
Like
what I would. But none of that matters while you're playing. That only matters when you stop playing. You know.
if you're not good enough. If they deem you not good enough.
Well, I mean, exactly. Basically, you can't get a contract from any team.
From nowhere
And
else, right?
that's right. You know what I mean?
Got you. So, twin, who you got coming out the East next year with a healthy KD and a healthy Kyrie out there?
I mean, I'm gonna stick. You know me, B. You know I'm gonna mess with the Celtics all the way, bro. Well, I don't know why we're doing this right now, but it's the Celtics that are gonna come out the East, and niggas gotta watch out for the Heat, cause they talking about that big boys want to go over there. Calling you.
Oh yeah,
I hear
Who,
niggas want
Giannis?
to go team up.
that's
Who?
different.
It's the decision 2.0. I don't
Decision?
know. They talking about Giannis. You ain't hearing
Right.
these things?
No, I hear that. That's all I hear, Giannis.
Giannis, I hearing
They take it with Giannis.
I don't see how not.
Yeah, I don't think
Because
they beat the Lakers.
they're not gonna have Giannis dribbling around with a fucking tutu.
Oh, they
trying to
take
do
the East,
everything.
you're saying. You're saying they
Yeah,
take
yeah,
the East.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think plagued the Celtics? Your Celtics this year?
Missed opportunities, honestly. Is that close in playoff basketball? This is what I say. I think I had told you before. Miami Heat, any 1 or 2 possession game, I don't have it in front of me, but they must have had like a 8-10-2 record on type like that, man. At least until they got to the finals.
Yeah.
Every situational play in that Eastern Conference Finals, when it came down to winning, Miami Heat made the play. If you want to talk about when Hero had the 37 to when Adebayo blocked that shot in overtime, they just made every play down. And Boston missed opportunities. Come on, we could have been up. We should have won the first 2 games. And that's it. From right there, it went downhill. You go down 3, it's over.
Boston stay the same. They had a piece, and I gotta go with Boston. I'm always gonna. I picked Toronto for about 10 years straight, man. I like teams that've been together for a while that just can't make it, and I like teams like that. Those are the type of teams I see go to the finals. Miami was an exception this year, but they're not West. LeBron creates instant chemistry. You see that everywhere he's been. Whenever team he's played with. Then you got Denver, a team that's been together 3-4 years. They going through it progressively. They made the playoffs, then they made the second round. This year they made the conference finals. I like teams like that because that's just what I know from basketball, just from watching it forever and ever. You just rarely do teams come out of nowhere. And if they do come out of nowhere, they add a piece. You know what I'm saying? Like even Golden State. Golden State went through it. Game 7 with San Antonio, then Steph gets hurt. If you watch basketball, it's not like they came out of nowhere. You've seen them little dudes giving fits. San Antonio fits first place second year. Steph third year. Draymond first year. You saw them giving them fits. Mark Jackson coaching them.
Yeah.
Right? So the progression was there. You saw it. So Miami Heat. Well coached, one of the best organizations in the world. They know what they're doing out there. You had Jimmy Butler and a bunch of young kids that can shoot the basketball. I'm surprised they made the finals. It's usually not like that. It's usually usually a team like Milwaukee, like, oh shit, we couldn't do it. Oh shit, we couldn't do it. Now next year, we're here. Toronto the year before that. You added Kawhi to it, but every year they was losing to the Cavs. Like every year they had the second, third, first best record in the East. Just couldn't get over the hump. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of teams I see winning. Like I see you got to struggle first to get there, and then you have to stay together, especially your core, and add. You know what I'm saying? Like Boston add a big, maybe another shooter, like a deadly shooter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go Boston, and if Philly don't have no. Every year they 5 kids change on their roster, so I don't see no consistency in their roster for them to build and to get better. So Boston's a team like Boston is ideal. They've been together 3 years already.
So you taking Boston over your Nets?
I'm never gonna pick a team getting together the first year.
Okay.
I say all the time. Only team I've seen come together the first year and win it is that Boston Celtics team.
Yeah.
That 07 team. Like there was 3 of them motherfuckers.
No, that's it.
And they was grown. They was going for a chip. Their legacy depended on it. They didn't know when it would happen again, and they won. They had a tough team. They had tough teams. And they had a tough team. They were deep. Rondo.
Nah, they was tough all the way around.
Tony Allen locking up.
Yeah.
Tough team. You know what I'm saying? They had this other dude, wild dude, was Jerome Williams. I forget the dude's name, but there was a tough team.
Yo, Twin, let me ask you something. How much better does Andrew Wiggins make the Golden State Warriors?
You see that quiet moment right there? That's how much better.
Nah, I disagree.
All right.
I asked him that because he don't mess with Wiggins.
I hear you, but he just came from being double teamed, having 25 a game, shooting over 50% his whole career. The kid is efficient with the basketball. Now you're playing with Steph and Clay. You're not KD, but you're better than Barnes. You're never going to get double teamed again. I think the game going to be too easy. He's a slasher. He dunks. He's an athlete who can also shoot. Got a turnaround, got a mid-range game, turnaround jump shot. He got all that, man. Like he was a number one option for many years. Whether did they win or not, does he have the heart of a champion? What you want to see from a number one pick? Or maybe not. But 25 a game. I expect him to have 20 here, easy. To be wide open, easy. And to shoot 50 to 60% like he usually do. I just think it's gonna be too easy for Andrew Wiggins.
My nigga, that nigga's like the new Barbosa, nigga, for them, bro.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Barbosa,
saying? He's just gonna do what he
no,
gotta
Barbosa
do.
never started for him. This
It
man's
doesn't
gonna
matter.
start.
Barbosa
This
played
man's gonna play the
meaningful
three.
minutes for them, playing
No,
off all
Barbosa's gonna
that.
play the three. Wiggins gonna play the three. Wiggins gonna have 20 a game, easy. He's right now their third option. There's no question about that.
I
No, that's
always,
a fact.
this is what I'm gonna tell you. This is
It's
what I'm
20 for his
telling you.
life. Wiggins is 20 for his life. Or being double teamed, being game planned for. There's none of that ever again in his life.
Losing,
I told you.
losing, and averaging 25 is different when you go try to win games, bro. Stop
Okay.
playing.
Okay, but
Stop playing.
he's involved in the system now. The kid is an athlete. It's not like the kid can't ball. He's the number one pick. Who can ball? Who gave you efficient 23 to 25 for his life in Minnesota? As a rookie, gave you 20, 19 as a rookie. Efficiently. Not shooting 43%, 45, 46%. You won't want the kid to shoot 35 times a game. It's not in him. He's too easy. He's too laid back. I think he's in the perfect situation. And it's going to be unbelievable how easy the game of basketball is going to be for that kid this year. He can shoot the three. He got the mid-range, and he gets to the bucket. Like, nobody's going to double team this boy. The bucket is going to be wide open for him to do whatever he wants.
You basically saying he's going to come in and be Kevin Durant. Good looking out.
No. Like I said, he's better than Harrison Barnes. He's not KD, but he's better than Harrison Barnes ever was. He's better than Harrison Barnes ever was.
All right.
I gotta see
no question about that. I can't wait for the season to start just for that. Just to clear that up. How important Andrew Wiggins and the piece that they've never had. They've never had that. They didn't have Iguodala.
I think they're trying to trade Andrew Wiggins, bro. They don't even want that nigga.
Listen, it's not that they don't want him. If they could get Ben Simmons, then it's different. But yes, they do want Andrew Wiggins. They'd rather have him than D'Angelo Russell because he fits them better. He's 6'7".
Ben Simmons?
Yeah, they want that. I think they'd rather Ben Simmons than Joel Embiid.
Yeah, Ben Simmons to play the what? The three?
Ben Simmons is gonna be the de facto point guard, guarding threes.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I gave Ben Simmons the benefit of the doubt when he came in the league. I used to argue with my man Junior that I said Ben Simmons gonna be the next wave, but that whole not being able to shoot and scared to take him, he's gonna be a regular basketball player, bro. For what he could be out there, he's a 6'10" point guard, but he can't shoot. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Surrounding with shooters, the way you do with Giannis. Then you surround him with Golden State with real shooters, with championship shooters. Then it's a whole different story.
Yeah, over there in Golden State, yeah.
Rebound, let's go. You know, they don't play no size.
But if he don't get there,
they fuck around finish.
It's quiet for son.
No, they fuck around finish games with him and Draymond as their bigs.
No, I know.
You can get away with that now.
In Golden State, but if he stays in Philly, it's quiet.
I mean, Philly, Joel is in the paint. You got to come out the paint. It doesn't fit well. Not in today's NBA. Back in the days, it was perfect. Because no big back in the days won without a small. That's as good as them.
Yeah.
I don't care who you say. You go back to the Celtics teams. The nigga had Bob Cousy. He had 8 Hall of Famers.
Bill
didn't win until he had Jerry West. Another player that's as good, or that's on that level.
Yeah.
Kareem won with Oscar and Magic. All them years he didn't win by himself.
Yeah. No.
How many championships Shaq went to? Penny, Dwayne Wade,
Dwayne Wade, and the Lakers.
and Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like for a big, and no matter what era of an NBA, it just wasn't enough for you to win. Patrick Ewing didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Ewing never had that player that was as good as him. You know what I'm saying? To help him win. So, you know, so it's always it's still overrated the difference that a big made before because you still needed a small to be as good as you to win. If you just look at teams in basketball history,
but not anymore.
Well, not now. If you got a big like that, like Joel's one of the last ones, because even Jokic is more versatile than him.
Yeah,
because Jokic is the only slow foot big tree that we have in the NBA, but he's like so versatile. I mean, like, you see the bounce passes, you see the, you know, like he passed with his back to the basket, man. Like the kid is different. Joel don't have that.
Definitely guessing him.
Joel don't have that in him.
So yeah, I mean,
for the lug that can't move, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Joel is like the old school. He fits the old school.
You can't play with Ben Simmons and be efficient in this league. No. They're gonna hit threes on you in 14 seconds, while it takes you 24 seconds to maybe get to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, analytics tell you that the new NBA, the three is gonna beat that all day. Analytics tell you that it's just what it is, numbers.
Yeah, that's just what it is because that's what the NBA, the new NBA. If you can't shoot, you're not playing.
Right. And threes for twos, like they only work really in the playoffs.
That shit is overrated, my nigga. A team that don't shoot threes just won the finals, bro. Like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Missed hella threes though.
Yeah, that still took
you took a hard 28 threes, bro. Right. That if when we were making them, it was blowout games.
It was right, but that wasn't that but there was games that y'all shot terrible and still won because y'all offensive rebound, because y'all had bigs, you know what I'm saying, and y'all play hella defense. You know what I mean?
Miami made the finals on spreading the court, letting Jimmy Butler make a decision. Damn near. That's what happened. Spread the court, leave the ping open. Anthony Davis can't just sit there.
Yeah.
You know, the game changed, man. The game changed.
It's shooting. It's a shooting.
Who makes more shots? Yes, who make more shots, man? I think Steph and Clay proved that. I think they proved that, man. To make more shots, then you add KD to them. I don't know, and they lock up too. Like Golden State was second and third in defense. You have to play defense too. Lakers play defense.
I think that goes to the argument that there's more skilled players now than before because everybody has to shoot.
You have skilled players because Kyrie, you think dudes at Rucker or at Dykeman weren't doing what Kyrie's doing now? That Isaiah Thomas couldn't do what he was doing now?
It wasn't as common though, bro.
Isaiah was a tough motherfucker. Listen, Mark Jackson and Magic Johnson brought the ball down with their back to the court because the hand check.
Yeah.
Say Ron Harper, Derek Harper had the strongest hands in the NBA. Dictate where you go. It's a different NBA. Now I face you bring up the ball.
Yeah.
Are you backpedaling? You can't put your hands over. You have to depend on moving your feet, which is damn near impossible.
And beating me to the spot that I'm trying to get.
Why would I draft a kid like Steve Kerr when there's a kid like
Trae Young?
Like Trae Young or like Isaiah Thomas. Little Isaiah. Why would I draft the Steve Kerr kid when he's just gonna sit there and shoot a three? I don't need that anymore. I don't need a Mark Jackson anymore.
No, see, but wait a minute.
Mark Jackson would be effing Peyton.
No, you gotta it's never one way. It's just what you need. The Lakers ain't follow protocol. They actually went against protocol on the team that they built because they just
went big.
They built around their best players. And said, okay, we're gonna build around LeBron and AD. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get a few shooters, defensive players, playmakers, and that's it. These niggas is gonna take us this. Too many teams. Look at Houston. They just devoted themselves to this only three and layup shit. Basketball needs balance, bro. Basketball
No,
is never always.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think right now is relevant because, of course, basketball needs balance. But what you mean that a dude like Charles Barkley got a spot in the NBA now, Charles Oakley? No, it doesn't. It's what the game is calling for now.
Yeah.
It's what the game is calling for now.
What
These
I'm
are the
telling
kids
you is
that,
that a guy
these
like
are the
Charles
kids that get
Oakley.
looked at,
What I'm telling you is a guy like Charles Oakley
right?
could
Doesn't
get
have a job.
10 minutes in a game in the playoffs and
Not,
make
not
a
in this
difference.
NBA. Antonio Davis, not
10 minutes.
Antonio. Well, show me one that does.
Well,
Like
and
you got Dwight Howard, the first Hall of Famer, playing 12 minutes a game on a championship team.
okay, there you go.
No, but that's Dwight Howard. That's not Antonio Davis. That's not Charles Oakley. Are we talking about a potential Hall of Famer and Dwight Howard, 4-time defensive
so
player of
let's
the
go.
year? Like we're not
JaVale
talking about a regular dude.
JaVale McGee. JaVale
You know what I'm saying?
McGee.
JaVale McGee got his spot taken. He played less. When he was at Golden State, he played less. 8 minutes a game sometimes.
It don't matter. He played, bro. That's the point. What are we talking about?
All right.
I said 10 to 8 minutes. They still need it.
JaVale McGee is athletic. He's a freak of nature. We're not talking about Charles Oakley, Bill Cartwright, Luke Longley. Do I continue? These dudes do not have a job in this NBA.
JaVale McGee is the new version. He's the underachiever.
Of a DeAndre Jordan? DeAndre Jordan? Who played like DeAndre Jordan back in the days? David Robinson? Like David Robinson, only little 7'3" skinny freak that jumped out the gym. Who else? Everybody else is Patrick Ewing. Everybody else is Patrick Ewing. Now you got a bunch of frame like David Robinson and no Shaqs, no Charles Oakleys. Why? You don't need them anymore because Mike Paul has to hit a jump shot. Mike Paul has to hit a three.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's what it is now.
For the ball to bang. That's not what this NBA calls for. Not even the Lakers have a four. Even the Lakers all have skilled players.
That's who Charles Oakley is. The Morris twins. It's just evolved.
No, he's not a Morris twin with a jump shot. No. Now you're comparing Morris twins what's inside their chest to their game. We're comparing games. I'm comparing Charles Oakley's game. Don't compare his motor or the Morris twins motor.
Yeah.
I'm talking about his game. I'm talking about the way he played, the position he played, the baseline jump shot, the Cartwrights and him, and the Malone baseline jump shots. These dudes not taking them shots.
Nah.
These dudes not taking them shots.
Nah, not at all.
Like, no, do not compare the two. Like those dudes do not play in this league.
Those dudes are not like Charles Oakley, but every team got some type of big that's there to grind and gets a minute or two every now and then, brother.
Oh, no, different. You depend on this person to play 35 minutes a game before.
Okay, and now it's okay.
Am I correct?
But you can't completely.
You wanted Antonio Davis and the other big Davis to play 30 minutes a game.
My brother, there's still players like that. Like
there's not.
Rudy Gobert is a 7.
Rudy Gobert is a defensive player of the year. He's agile on his feet. He's not Bill Cartwright. He's not Luke Longley. He's not Bill Laimbeer. You have to be able to get to the bucket.
He's an old school big.
No, he's not an old school big. He's more agile. No. He gets to the rim. He's not slow-footed. He runs the court. Yeah, he's DeAndre Jordan.
Old school big.
Rudy
Gobert is old school big.
The one at Boston is the closest thing. Enes Kanter, old school big. Like these are old school bigs.
Are you bugging? He shoots threes.
Who?
And his cancer tries to shoot jump shots and shit like that, bro.
That just came out of nowhere now. The other dude y'all got in the middle, the Bimes kid at Phoenix, those are old school type bigs. And these
Rudy Gobert is Mutombo.
You can't tell me that a dude like he's not Mutombo.
Defensive. Block shots, finish around the rim.
He's able to get from the 3-point line to defend the basket. He's able to do that. These dudes can't do that back in the days. That's why he plays.
Oh, that's
why plus minus be somewhere else because of his athleticism.
Yeah.
He's really not Bill Laimbeer. No, he's not.
Rudy
He's not gonna
Gobert
win.
is not even athletic, bro.
He is.
Stop it.
When you look
Like
at the
what?
numbers and his plus minus and all
What are
that,
you
look at it.
talking about, bro?
Look at the defensive
Athleticism.
metrics.
That nigga chucks down the floor like a doofy
I can't
nigga.
I can't even do this right now because you going you. There's no way you can compare Rudy Gobert to a Charles Oakley to dudes that would not have a job in this NBA. There's no way in the world. I
I
named you 50
compared him
dudes.
to
I named
Mutombo.
you 50
I
dudes that
compared
can
him
play
to
in
Mutombo.
today's NBA from before, and you mentioned Rudy Gobert. Like I need
He compared him
need
to
a better
Mutombo.
argument. Yeah, I need a better argument. He says he's a
Rudy
better
Gobert
defender.
is a old school type player that played with those type of players you mentioned, bro.
He's more agile. He's more athletic.
That's a lie.
No,
He's
it's
not
true.
that athletic.
It's true.
Look
It's
at
true.
him
It's true.
run. He
It's
runs
true.
like a doofy galoo. There's
But
nothing
he gets there
graceful
though.
about
He
him.
runs fast. And he runs
DeAndre
the floor.
Jordan is athletic.
Those
Rudy
are the only
Gobert
type
is
of
just
bigs.
tall.
That's the only type of bigs. The kid at the Nets.
The kid at the Nets with the fro.
Look at Mo Bamba can't even get run in the NBA.
Nah.
Like Mo Bamba, because you old school. What was the kid that went to the other kid from New York that went to this place to
Listen,
Kentucky?
my nigga.
What happened with him? Old
Don't
school.
mention
Nigga
Mo
still in
Bamba.
college.
Don't mention Mo
Hold on.
Bamba.
What
You
was the
vouch
kid
for
from
him
Queens?
because he got a
That's that
3-year
Kentucky.
rookie contract and he's
All
gonna
right.
get a
I'm
pension
talking
for the
about
rest
that
of
these
his life.
types of players
Stop.
can't play in the NBA no more. You're not
Getting
proving
his
to me.
pension, like
You're
you
not.
said.
You're not proving that this is only his second year, I believe. But you're not proving to me that
He's
these dudes
getting
can
his
play in the NBA
pension.
though. Or Charles Oakley played 30 minutes a game in the NBA before. You're not proving to me.
Gasol is that type of dude.
NBA.
The younger brother Gasol.
I'm not trying to prove that to you, boy.
He's like a
I agree
Lambeer.
that. I agree
Right. So
that they don't
what?
play
So
like that in the NBA.
what
I'm
are we getting
saying
at
is
then?
every team got one nigga for that for like about
I
10 or
disagree.
5
So
minutes here and there.
I disagree. I disagree. That doesn't exist anymore. That type of Charles Oakley player doesn't exist anymore. That Antonio Davis player doesn't exist anymore. You're a waste of time.
It's
You're a
not
waste
that
of time.
player.
That's why that kid's still at Kentucky.
Other
From New
people
York, from
do
Queens.
it now. We're not
That's
talking
why he's still
about
in
that.
Kentucky,
We're
because
talking
he has
about what
that
they
type of
did.
game. No, you need to be able to shoot. You need to be able to be agile. You need to be able to run the court, man. Those dudes do not have a place in this NBA. The worst comparison ever was the Morris swing to Charles Oakley. Worst comparison ever. You're talking
What
about
do you
dudes that
mean?
create their own shots anytime, not anytime they want, but they're able to dribble, get to a spot, create their own shot. You want to compare that to Charles Oakley? To Antonio Davis? Lefty, like, don't make me lose respect for you.
My nigga, listen. My
Respect
nigga.
for you.
My nigga, listen.
Don't just sit here and be Skip Bayless and Max Kellerman just to argue against me, because we will never see a Charles Oakley again in the NBA. Come on, fam. Come on, what are we talking about here?
I don't think there's a role. I don't think there's a spot for them dudes in today's NBA either. You gotta be able to do something,
brother.
What they used to get away with back in the days.
Come on, Left. Come on, let's be real.
I already said that I agree with that, brother. You heard me say that before you went on your rant, bro.
Yeah.
I told you that style of basketball shows up in the playoffs.
No, you told me that every team has a player like that on their team. I'm disagreeing.
Brother, there's players not that do that same skill that come in just to rough niggas up,
but
they got skill.
They have to be able to shoot a three like Bruce Bowen. They have to be able to
play that role.
Like
somebody else with skill does it, but
they will have to be able to shoot a three like Bruce Bowen.
Still is needed, bro.
You talk about toughness.
Exactly.
Well, no, we're talking about game. We're talking about skill. This is what this program was about. We're talking about skill. We're talking about different.
I'm saying that the role of those guys that you mentioned that are not around,
talking about an enforcer,
being done by the skilled players.
You're talking about an enforcer. You're talking about Matt Barnes is a good one, that he could shoot the three, that he was athletic. You're talking about Ron Artest, that he defended, that he was athletic.
And that's what I'm saying, that position evolved.
Right, but these guys are skilled, though.
What evolved
more skilled than Oakley.
Got you.
More skilled than Oakley.
They are more skilled because it evolved.
No,
what evolve means? It gets better.
No, it didn't evolve to that, because you have threes that are smaller than Oakley now. You have threes that are smaller than fours. I mean, that are smaller than Malone now.
Yeah, PJ
It didn't evolve.
PJ
It minimized. The game became smaller. It became more athletic because of the rules.
Winning.
Because of the non-hand
you
check.
need length and height and all that other stuff
to win.
Like I said before, every big in NBA history has needed a small as good as him to win a championship. Every big has needed a small as good as him to win a championship. We're not talking about a KD with Avery Johnson. He had David Robinson. Then he had Manu Ginobili, which arguably Ginobili was a top 3 shooting guard in his prime. You know what I mean? Like Dwayne Wade got a beautiful story saying that when he went to the Olympics, they said, "Yo, you got the best 2 shooting guards in the world here," and people were saying it was Kobe and Ginobili. You know what I'm saying? Like Dwayne Wade was like, "Yo, that nigga is for real." Like there's an interview of him saying that, like, I was in my feelings when he's giving credit to Ginobili. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you can't even say Tim didn't win with another small, because you know what Ginobili did for them.
But who's saying that? I don't even know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. All this length, regardless, you need somebody as good as you to win the chip, no matter how big you are.
Ginobili had length, but Ginobili had length.
No, but that's a wing player. I'm talking about you're big and you need somebody as good as you that's a small to win the chip. That's compatible to you.
Well, now when the Spurs first won with David Robinson and Duncan,
but he had somebody as good as him, right? He had another one
though. It wasn't a small. It was
but he had another one as good as him.
2 bigs though.
Yeah, 2 big. Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson went to
didn't work out
in their prime.
Didn't work out.
But they went to a chip. They beat the Lakers in their prime. They went to a chip. They lost to Boston.
Yeah.
So it's another one that's as good as you. It could be
but it's not a big and a small like you said.
But, D-Rob, Tim Duncan, they did it. They did it. But they're 2 great players, 2 Hall of Fame caliber players.
Absolutely.
Hall of Famers. So it's not like a big is going to go out there and win by himself.
The Celtics, their guards weren't as good as their big. They was Larry Bird down.
But Larry Bird is a wing.
Yeah.
Larry Bird is a tough wing. We're hard to go and rebound. Is Larry Bird not a wing?
No, absolutely.
He a wing. He had the step back before the step back. Look at the tape. He had Dominique controlling with the step back. You know what I'm saying? Like he a wing before a wing. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they had a bunch of Hall of Famers. Like they had a complete team.
No,
who's their big?
Parrish and McHale.
All right, but what I'm saying is who's their big that you're comparing to Olajuwon, Shaq? We can't take a big from there and say
no. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they did it without that combo. I'm saying
right.
Without the combination of a big and a
LeBron did it a bunch of times without that combo.
McHale is a big.
Yeah, McHale's a big. Yeah, he a big. He plays big and all that. Yeah, but McHale is not on the level of a Shaq where he's taking teams alone to the chip. What you think is Shaq taking, or you know what I'm saying, or Will Chamberlain. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That, and that's a great argument. Will, for all them years, nothing. You get with Jerry West, nothing. But you put them together and they win one. Oscar Robinson, nothing. Then you get them with Kareem, bang. Then he leaves Oscar. Then Kareem don't do nothing until Magic don't come around.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's just what it is. Basketball repeats itself over and over. Like even now, even now, we're not going to talk about any team that just wins. We're going to talk a team with a big as their focal. I'm not talking about a Golden State Warriors team or a LeBron-led team or a Michael Jordan-led team. This is my argument against you need height or you need this big dominant nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's just my argument against it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you still need somebody else that's as good as you.
Huh?
You still need somebody else as good as you.
Yeah.
Who won the chip last year?
The year before that, Toronto. That's another team that you would put. They don't have a big. We're talking about teams with bigs, like Joel. Like if Joel would have went to the finals, then we say,
Toronto had a big. Toronto had a big.
Oh, okay. Gasol's a Hall of Fame big.
Siakam and Gasol.
No.
Is Gasol a Hall of Fame big?
Gasol, it was all defensive player of the year.
I hear you, but you can't put
he's a
Gasol in there.
legit center in the NBA.
You can't put Gasol in there with
games.
Timothy Duncan and Shaquille O'Neal. We're not going to even put him with Pau Gasol. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
we're not going to put him with Pau. Like, that's another one. Pau and Kobe. You bring them two together, boom. Two first ballot.
He was a franchise center.
You know what I'm saying?
Franchise
you bring
center.
Ray Allen, KG, and Paul Pierce together, bang. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what basketball is. It's proven. Like, I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. I'm giving you details.
You just got to run on sentence, my nigga, because ain't nobody disagreeing with you.
No, I'm not just saying. I'm not. I keep hearing names come out your mouth, like.
Well, because last year they had a center,
but they didn't have a real big. They didn't have a Hall of Fame big. You're talking about length, right? You're talking about length. But when we talk about length, we're gonna talk about great players, right? Well, you need to be great Anthony Davis type players to win. We're not talking about Luke Longley being a center. Like, who cares? That's like saying That's like saying Marc Gasol for the Toronto Raptors. Who cares? Who cares?
What do you mean?
Who cares?
The point is that position was occupied and they needed it.
Yes.
And you're saying that they didn't.
No. What I'm saying is the greater what I'm saying that nobody said they need it. What I'm saying, the greater that your big is, he still needs somebody as good as him, small. In the David Robinson and Tim Duncan case, you still need somebody to win with. Yeah, you need somebody. A big doesn't win by himself. I think
you could say that about the
right
wing.
now.
You could say that about the wing. The wing needs a big.
No, I've seen Michael win by himself. I'm watching LeBron win by himself. I've seen Larry win. I've seen Dwayne Wade. Hold on, like I've seen Dirk Nowitzki win.
Winning by himself.
Let's keep going.
None of them people won by themselves.
No, they didn't win by themselves, but they didn't have another dominant player as good as them on their team.
What?
Dirk had another dominant player as good as them.
Not Dirk, but LeBron had D Wade and Chris Bosh.
What about
now
the
he got Davis, and he had Kyrie.
The times he went to Cleveland, I don't think Kyrie's on that level. Kyrie hit a big shot and all that, but I don't think that Kyrie is on even Dwayne Wade level. I don't think so. Right?
I think when Kyrie was in the finals, he played like all of them. As anybody mentioned, bro.
He was a number 2 option. We're not
and played the role and won a game for them.
We're not going to take that from him.
Without Kyrie, they don't win, bro.
We're not going to take that from him. We're not going to put LeBron get there with or without Kyrie. Do they win or not with Kyrie? Yes. Okay, but LeBron gets there regardless.
Yes, yeah. He don't win without Kyrie.
So that's another one. Michael is another one. Isaiah Thomas is another one. He didn't need a big. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's arguments for the small that does win a chip.
Yeah, but Isaiah Thomas in that era, he had a bunch of goons.
All right, but he didn't have a dominant big to put the ball in.
Dominant.
He didn't have a big that needed to win. He didn't have a big that his winning was his legacy.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
No.
Barkley's best year when he went to the finals, who did he have? At that time, he had a great one.
Kevin Johnson, Marley, and them.
He had Kevin Johnson.
Yeah.
He had a good one with him.
Yeah.
Now you combine them with him. Then you combine Stockton and Malone, 2 chips. You combine Peyton and Kemp. You get a chip. You go to a chip. Like, this is basketball. Like, go back in history. Like, like, this is just what it is.
Stockton and Malone never won.
But they went to 2. It worked. It works. Not saying that you win because you went up against Mike, both of them, Jake, GP, and Sean Kemp. Right? They look very good. The small and the big.
Yeah.
Come together. It's just basketball. The big needs the small more than the small needs the big. Because like Chris Paul, Steve Nash, and Jason Kidd, I can make a big out of you.
Jason Kidd, when Dirk won, he had Jason Kidd, bro, Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but Jason Kidd was 40. He was done with the Knicks, and he was finishing.
I didn't say he was young. I said he's a Hall of Fame guard.
Right. But you know that wasn't a prime kid that took the Nets to the final.
Not a prime. It wasn't even the first Dallas Maverick Jason Kidd.
No, but the prime kid was the one that took the Nets to the finals.
The Nets to the finals. Yeah.
Right, he was making no mistakes. Like he was a perfect floor general.
Yeah.
Kerry Kittles, Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, Van Horn had him hooping.
Yeah.
Had him in 2 finals straight.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like we're not gonna talk wrong about Jason Kidd, but he didn't need a big. So that again, my argument: the big always needs that small. Where we seen opposites and smalls get to finals and win, and not win, but win games.
This is what I mean. This is what I want to say real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna tell me Kenyon Martin it wasn't a big?
Of course.
Yeah, Kenyon Martin's a big, but he's not a big in the form that we're talking. Patrick Ewing, David Robinson. I'm talking about an elite big. Lefty.
It's not a lot of those,
an elite big that has pressure of winning a chip. Let's say like a Joel Embiid. Let's say Joel, because Joel.
Bro,
Jokic has Murray.
Kenyon Martin at the time was one of the better centers.
Was he 25 and 10 every night?
He was an all-star.
No, he wasn't, but he was the starting center for that team.
Man,
you gotta give him credit, bro.
You're talking about a regular. You're talking about a regular player. We're not talking about a 10-time All-Star or first ballot Hall of Famer.
But why you gotta be that
here? Because those are the type of players that need the small to win. It's proven in basketball, where your Patrick Ewing is not going to win if you don't have a player as good as you ever.
Yeah, but why does Patrick Ewing, the time that he made it to the chip, doesn't count, motherfucker? And then the other niggas that you count that didn't win a chip,
what you mean
it counts.
What you mean?
Ewing got to a chip, so it should count, right?
He got to the chip,
right?
He did get to the chip,
and
what does that mean?
Right?
But what does that mean? That he got to the chip.
That it worked. That it worked.
No. But the ones that work,
you stuttering.
The ones that work have
your
one
Wi-Fi
chip.
is good.
Listen, Joe, the ones that work
alone. You just said Stockton and Malone didn't win, but it worked because they went to 2 chips.
But Patrick didn't have that second player.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Okay. So what are you saying? He didn't have the second player,
and he got to the chip.
He got to the chip.
Being the big as the best player.
But again, the dude did not end up winning, right? And like I said,
alone.
They didn't win, but it worked.
I'm done.
It worked
for Patrick, bro.
Now who Skip Bayless?
For them, it works consistently.
It worked twice.
Now who Skip Bayless?
They won for many years in a row. That were every year were they in contention? The Stockton had the most ever. Does Malone have the second most points ever? And the most rebounds ever?
Yes.
Did it work? Yes. Right. Now you go to the Patrick Ewing one. What are you saying? For you to win, like for Will to win, for like Akeem to win, for D-Rob to win, for Tim Duncan to win, for Shaq to win, they needed a player that was as good as them to win. Nobody's talking about just getting there.
But you said that for people that didn't win, bro.
Okay, but when I came up with the strong,
you said it worked.
Those were a bunch of names that was running through my mind, and I'm thinking like, oh, these niggas went to finals, a small and a big. Like I'm like, this is also freestyle. I don't got no paperwork in front of me. This is going up the top of the head. But I know for a fact, your Nick argument to me is like, I'm not even thinking about the Knicks and Patrick Ewing going to the finals. You know why? Because it's not big small combo. It's not a big.
No, it don't have to be a big small combo.
But that's what I'm saying, that it don't have to be.
I know, and what I'm saying is that no big wins without somebody being as good as them on their team.
Championship.
To win championships, yeah, no team. I've named a bunch of them.
Yo, bro.
Name me a big that's won without somebody that's as good as them. Lefty, I just need it. I need it for your soul, so you can sleep well tonight. Name me a big who's won without somebody that's as good as them.
It changes now when you change the requirements that they have.
No, that's what it's been.
But before, when you said
it's been big small combo. It's been big small combo.
I had the argument. Now you change it into they have to win a championship.
No, but from the beginning, it was winning with
Gary Payton.
It was
they only went to one chip.
Again, those were names that came to my mind about big and smalls that worked. Because
it didn't work because they didn't win a chip now.
It's about Kareem winning. Again, it's about Wilt winning. It's about Kareem winning when they got their small or a player that's as good as them. That's
How did Gary Payton and Sean Kemp work if they only went to one chip?
well, they went to a chip.
So did Patrick Ewing.
All right, but okay, but listen, Drew. But Patrick Ewing didn't have a small, so why would I mention him as good as him?
Not you mentioned him. Lefty mentioned him to contradict what you're saying because he said a big went and won without another person as good as
you. I hear you. Okay, so that's one example to my 10 guard examples I gave.
That's a fact.
That's one example to my 10 guard.
And we got Senate, and we got
San Antonio. When he didn't have a Batman, Patrick.
And we got Bill Russell.
Patrick didn't have a Batman. Bill Russell had Coolsey. He had 8 Hall of Famers on his team.
Yeah, 8 Hall of Famers, and there was only 8 in the NBA.
Yes, he had Coolsey. You seen the highlights? And no, not even black kids.
Bill Russell was the best player on that team.
But he needed a big that was as good as him. Again, he needed another player who was as good as him to win the chip. That's why Will, who never had a player as good as him, that's why Elgin Baylor, who never had a player as good as him, never won.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm just going by the list of
Jerry West played together.
When he got with Jerry West,
they went to chips and didn't win, but they got to chips.
Yeah, they got to chips. They lost to Boston, but then when Jerry West,
then it
they went to one chip. They went to one chip with Elgin Baylor the year he retired. The year he retired, and the next year they won the chip. Jerry West and this right or wrong?
Yeah,
right or wrong?
Yes,
they beat the Knicks, and then that's it. They beat the Knicks, and that's it. Then the Knicks beat them, and then I don't know who the Knicks beat after that. So they
them again.
Elgin Baylor didn't go to chips by himself until he didn't have Will Chamberlain and Jerry West.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
big man. He's supposedly the best power forward before Tim Duncan. So the history of basketball doesn't lie. Like you're
big one without a 1-2 combo.
No, there's many guards who've made finals on lefties requirements, like Patrick Ewing, who've made finals.
But look at Kawhi.
But he says he got a center in Gasol. I don't think that's the caliber of center we're talking about.
Well, that's the center that they traded for.
All right, but that's not the center of caliber we're waiting for. 100 centers like that have won.
A center before that.
Listen, Blue Andrews won. John Sally won. 100 centers like that have won. Luke Longley has won. Like 100 centers like that have won in our lifetime. 100 of them have won. But we're talking about the great ones, the ones with pressure on them, like you're supposed to win, like a Shaq, like a Tim Duncan or a KG when he went to Boston. Like you need a counterpart. You need somebody as good as you. Where a guard in basketball, no matter what you say about size, is good enough to take regular teams to a final or a final without another Hall of Famer. Because we've seen that over and over again.
But my point is that the size doesn't have to be
Iverson, Steph Curry,
bro.
Michael Jordan 6'6". Kawhi just did that 6'7". You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need that 7-footer.
I'm not saying that you do. I'm not saying that you do.
I'm just saying.
What I'm saying is,
small
you don't need a Hall of Famer 7-footer is what I'm saying, but you still need the length of a doofy nigga in there that's tall and tall. That's all.
But the Hall of Fame center, the first ballot Hall of Fame center, always needs a small. Where the small first ballot Hall of Famer doesn't always need a big. No matter what NBA you play.
San Antonio and the Knicks had a little run.
No matter what NBA you play.
Yeah, I say
always, and you just have to look at the history of basketball, and I think that's a fact because that doesn't lie.
Yeah, that's fact. That
doesn't lie. 6-6 can get to the finals. 6-1 can get to the finals. You know, Kobe can lead 2 teams to the finals with a Paul Gasol, with a Lamar Odoms.
Yeah,
you know
but
of course you need that length.
Look,
but you also need that win.
Listen, you're taking length too literal, bro. Like when you bring up Kobe, that argument works for me because Kobe is length. You understand what I'm saying? 6'7", and you could guard smalls.
Well, that's
I'm talking about length, like the Celtics, 6'5", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", length. Length. You understand what I'm saying?
Now NBA.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just bigs as length. I'm talking about just length. where everybody's 6'6" and better, nigga. That's what I'm talking about. Is what you always need. Length. It doesn't mean it don't have to come in Hall of Fame center mode and this, that, and the third. I'm talking
those are the type
about
of players that made.
I'm
Those are the
talking
type of
about
players that made the finals in the 80s and 90s.
what?
Like that's the type of players that made the finals. No, that's who made the finals, and that's what
Okay,
this was
but
about.
I'm talking about that.
This is what this is about. This is the type of players that made the finals at this
matters.
time. Just
All
like the
I'm
Charles
saying
Oakley
is
argument. These
Kobe-
are I'm talking about certain time compared to this time. That's what
I
I'm thinking
hear
it's
you.
coming from.
But it's
I don't
still
know. I don't know where it went.
6'7" is length. It's not a small, bro.
All right, but in the 80s and 90s,
you using
that wasn't
LeBron.
length.
You using
Length.
LeBron and Kobe as an argument like they're smalls, and it's
No, they're
really
wings.
they're my argument
They're
because
wings.
they're the length and
No,
they're
they're
the
wings.
big.
LeBron and Kobe are wings. They're not bigs. No matter what you say, they're wings.
They're
not big.
They're not big.
length. They're
No,
wings.
it doesn't matter what you say. We're talking about bigs in the 90s and 80s and 2000s compared to the
We
bigs
wasn't
now.
talking about
But
bigs.
that's what we are
I'm
talking
not
about.
talking bigs.
Well, that's
I
what we're talking
didn't
about.
bring
We're
bigs.
talking, we're
We're
talking
talking
length,
skilled players.
skilled players.
I'm bringing up length. And I'm
Right, you're
bringing
talking
up
about
length.
that. You said
And
the game.
LeBron and Kobe
You
are
you
my
always say that the
argument
game is
length.
about size. It's about 6'11", and niggas like that is always going to dominate.
You're making it 6'11". You're making it 6'11".
You've always
You're
said that.
making it
That you still
6'11".
don't need
I
size.
never mentioned the 6'11".
We was talking about Golden State the other day, and you said that they still need size. That Draymond Green on size does matter. This and that. Well, I'm making an argument for you against that.
Yeah,
I
didn't say Draymond. I
always
said that they still needed JaVale McGee to bring length and size to what everything else they were doing.
For 12
and
minutes
it's
a game.
true.
For 12
he
minutes
won
a
a
game.
chip with
That's
them,
not true.
and he never
That's
played
not
in the
true.
fourth quarter.
For
The
10 minutes a
Hampton
game,
Five
right.
played
So
most
you don't
of
have
it,
to bring
but
that.
they still needed him.
No, you don't need that.
What
You don't need that. They play 12 minutes a game. You play 12 minutes a game.
So
You
then
got
why
Houston.
didn't they let him? Why didn't they just take away those 12 minutes then?
The 12 minutes?
Why did they even use them those 12 then? If they don't
Because
need it
they had Iggy coming off the bench and playing 35 minutes a game, playing the rest of his minutes.
Of course, you got to answer for
It's just the way they do. They let Iggy play with the second team and then play with the first team. It's basketball. It's rotation. It's coaching. It's coaching.
So he
right?
had the
So if
same
I get
role
injured,
for the Lakers.
I'm in the starting lineup.
I'm in the starting lineup. For the Lakers.
If I'm in the starting lineup and you're my reserve, when I get hurt,
the starting lineup was Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, LeBron.
Who starts? I'm asking you a basketball question.
Danny Green.
I'm asking you a basketball question.
Look at that lineup. It's all length, bro.
All right, but I'm asking you a basketball question.
That's the team that won the chip. That's the lineup they used all season.
I hear you.
Go ahead. What you say, G?
You had 2 top 5 players in the world. I hear you.
What you said?
And they had JaVale McGee, Anthony Davis, and LeBron.
JaVale McGee didn't play the last round.
Everybody was.
Dwight Howard didn't play the round before that. I send you the joint that Gilbert Arenas said. Dwight Howard said, "Yo, I'm not gonna play tonight." He already knew.
Oh yeah.
You already knew you're not gonna play tonight.
My brother, in the playoffs,
in the finals, I'm talking about finals.
In the playoffs, shit like that happens all the time.
No, only when you're big in this era. When you're a big in this era, who else does that happen to?
What do you mean it happens to players, not big players, where they don't play?
Tell me another starter that is healthy that loses his job in the playoffs.
Skip.
No, but listen, that you know what that is. You know how I feel about that. Gave Jameer Nelson his job back. But tell me,
that was crap.
Who loses their job? Dunn lost his job. He got
Rondo
wasn't starting all season. Bradley was starting all season.
No. You said about a player losing, a healthy player losing his job in the playoffs.
He wasn't starting Rondo all season. Bradley and Cope started. Right or wrong? Drew, you're a Laker fan.
Yeah.
Bradley and Cope. What are you talking about? I'm talking about Dallas. I'm talking about Rondo and Dallas, bro.
Oh, but you know what happened in Dallas. He didn't want to run Carlisle's plays. He didn't want to run. You know it. It's public information. Go to YouTube right now. Go anywhere in the world. Carlisle wanted him to run plays, and Rondo's like, "Yo, I'll do what I want to do." They didn't get along.
Well, I don't care. It fits
Don't
my
talk to
argument.
me about Rondo.
What you talk about?
I put Rondo in the comment. Rondo make everybody better. Don't tell me. Rondo led the league in assists 3 times. Boston with nobody when everybody left. I know what Rondo could do. I know what Rondo could do. Your baby
I
Jason.
hear you, but you see the example where he didn't even play.
Jason Kidd, we didn't play what?
They took him off the roster for the
But that's
playoffs.
because they not fucking with you. It's different, nigga. It's not because you can't play. Coño, lefty.
What you
It's not
mean?
because you can't play, nigga. It's because they not fucking with you.
Yeah,
All right.
Rick Carlisle
All
did
right.
not mess
I'ma
with
give you
Come
Rondo.
on,
an
my
example.
nigga. Come on,
How
my
about
nigga.
Cantor? How about Cantor in the playoffs?
Look,
It happens all
okay,
the time.
no. Okay, now you're
Guys
talking about
don't
a 10th
play.
man. Now you're talking about a 10th man. When we know basketball, lefty, your rotation shrinks to 8 players in playoffs. So your 9th and 10th man are not going to play. So don't bring me Kankner. Bring me.
What are you talking about?
Bring me
Dwight
Hayward.
Howard was coming off the bench the whole season, and in
That's
the
right.
playoffs, his
Ninth
first
man,
start was in Houston.
9th man, 10th man.
Dwight Howard was the
What was
8th
that?
to 9th man.
Okay, and what are you saying?
What I'm showing you, 8th and 9th man, that sometimes
The
played in
Lakers-
playoff games and sometimes
The
didn't.
Lakers played 9 players. Your man Brad Stevens cut his bench in the playoff. You're rather wrong. That's
He
it.
played 9
Lakers
players
played
too, bro.
How? He played. Hayward wasn't playing. He was playing the one bright kid. He was playing the
He
older.
would play sometimes the Moreno, Robert Williams III,
He
or
played 8 kids.
Cantor, and
He
then
played 8
sometimes
kids.
not play him.
He played 8 kids. He didn't play Canton in the playoffs. He shrunk his bench like every damn near NBA team does.
He played Cantor in the playoffs, and then he didn't.
It depends.
Cantor in the
It depends
playoffs,
who
and
you
then
play.
he didn't.
Come on, man. The further you go, it's just like an AU tournament. You take 12 kids. The further you get along, the less kids you play. When you get to the Final Four, you're only playing 7. When you get to that, you're playing 6. Come on.
Listen to the argument, Gio. Listen to the argument. Listen to the argument. From series to series.
I'm killing this nigga over here, man. Yo, Drew, I've been out here too long, man. I'm killing this nigga out here today, bro.
My nigga, who are you killing, my nigga? Your body count is at 0.
Killing this nigga. Killing this nigga.
You're not killing nobody, man. You're just talking a lot.
Nah, I'm not, man.
This is not even a competition.
No,
you don't want to respect my points.
You making it seem like it, going against everything.
You don't want to respect my points. That's all.
Of course, I respect them, and I'm going against them.
Respect them because they make total sense.
I'm going against them. If I got a view, if I got a view, I have to voice my view.
But listen, you bring in what view, bro? Dwight Howard was an 8th, 9th player that always came off the bench, right? And then he wasn't playing that much, and then playing some playoff games he didn't play. In the Houston series, he didn't play, and nobody says anything about it. And then when he started, right, they started smacking these niggas. Like, what are you talking about? And then for the last game of Houston,
again, we going to coaching. Again, we going to coaching. You don't play when you got no bigs at Houston, but when you got Jokic, you play. Again, we going to coaching.
What coaching? Exactly. You make adjustments.
But when you remind somebody that the reason why he playing the next round is because the other team had Jokic, then they'd be like, okay, that's why he played the next round. Because it's basketball. But why didn't he play the round before that? Because you can't guard nobody.
Yeah, he couldn't.
You can't guard nobody. So that's why you ain't play this round. That's why he plays. That's not like the pick.
That's my point. What are you arguing? That's my point.
That these bigs don't have a spot in the NBA now.
Oh, just
that's my point.
That these bigs, you still need to keep a big in your back pocket, nigga. You gotta play them,
again,
and then
we're gonna go back again. How many teams have those type of players? Because before you said every team has a player like that.
No, not every team. Let's just talk about the playoffs.
Okay, not every team.
Let's just talk about the playoffs.
Again, not every team.
Let's talk about the playoffs.
Not every team.
Again, in the playoffs. In the playoffs.
Okay. Every team in the playoffs had a big
team in the playoffs, I feel, had a player like Dwight Howard or Enes Kanter on their bench.
The Clippers. Montrezl, how do you consider that?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, next. Tell me any team, bro.
Montrezl Harrell to me just got a motor, but he's not like he's a defensive rebounding machine. He's a great.
That's to you, nigga. But that's what they use to point the game.
The numbers don't lie.
He's there for.
5 rebounds a game. The number doesn't lie. It's not like he's one of those throwback bigs.
Yo, this is what I hate about you. That nigga don't shoot threes, my nigga. He's a throwback big. Shut the fuck up.
He got a handle. I'll send you 50 highlights of him taking bigs off the dribble with his handle, spin moves and all that.
Exactly. But you won't send me one highlight of him shooting a fucking 3, nigga.
But
why?
nobody.
But why?
Oh,
Right, nigga. Yeah, who you killing out here?
No,
you out here making my points.
Listen.
You out here making my points, nigga.
What's
Thank
the
you.
point?
Montel Harris, nigga. He
6'9".
don't shoot threes and he's a big old school
6'9".
player, nigga. What?
He's not an old school player. Nigga got a handle. You're not watching enough basketball.
Now he got a handle.
Yeah, you're not watching enough basketball. I see you're not watching enough
because
basketball.
that nigga brings up the ball and sets the play up.
No, nobody say he brings out the ball. But where Oakley will shoot that jump shot, your man's going between the legs, crossover into a dunk. Okay,
but he's not shooting the 3.
Like Oakley, it's not like Oakley.
I ain't say Oakley, nigga. I'm saying he's a big.
But we're comparing the big from that
Oakley.
He's a big.
He's a big. He's on a team. He's on a team that you said. Tell me a team. You said him.
I guess. No, but you said every team had a player like that. But I guess I'm still on the argument between
the playoffs.
I'm talking about having.
We know Houston didn't, and that plagued them because they needed a player like that.
I'm talking about the difference between players' skills, but because this is the text I got earlier. We're talking about the skills between then and now.
Yeah, facts.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going nowhere else.
Yeah,
I'm talking about skills. When I say Oakley, when I say this, because that's what's in my mind. That's what I'm arguing.
Yeah, but when we first started talking,
the difference between then and now,
everybody agreed that this time is better.
No, the difference type
of
That's what I'm talking about over here. I'm not
talking. Niggas already agreed to that.
All right, but that's what I've been talking about. Like that's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about nothing else.
I'm talking about
again.
They gotta shoot. They all gotta shoot.
I said that a big needs a wing or somebody as good as him to win.
And a guard.
But James Harden and Westbrook. Yeah, but Westbrook and Harden can't take a team past with it. They smalls, right? They wings.
Okay, so now we're gonna
everything in there.
So how many great bigs couldn't do it? So we're talking about again. We're talking about that guards that can do it. You're telling me 2 guards who can't. I'm telling you, but no big could do it by himself, but guards can do it. But there's 1,000 guards who haven't been able to.
Yeah, that's a fact.
1,000 guards who haven't been able to. You know what I'm saying? Like
AI did that
before Earl the Pearl got with Clyde. He couldn't do it. We go on the list of basketball over and over again. Dr. J couldn't do it till he got with Moses and them. So Moses come. Like we could keep doing it over and over. That's another big small. Moses, Maurice Chiefs, however you want to do it. Dr. J, however you want to do it. They needed each other. We could keep going. That's
but that's why Lefty said that you need length.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, and when length. And all I said, length is not as important because when I think length, I think 6'11". I think 6'10". I think grace. And again, we're comparing
6'7" is not length, Gio.
No, but we're comparing old to new, where the greatest
bigs were all 6'10",
the great players before were Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone. Who were the best players in the league at this time? I'm Gary Karl Malone, Charles Barkley. Where the best players in the league now, big size difference between those great players. Why?
Absolutely.
Because that's the way the game was played, and that's where I'm coming from the beginning. Because we're talking about then and now.
Yeah.
Well, the best players in the world were tall and big at that time.
Yeah, it's a fact.
The best players in the world, 7 feet, 6'11", 6'10". Drafted.
It's not like that no more.
It's not like that no more.
No.
It's not like that no more. And where those bigs always needed somebody as good as them to take them to a final or even to win a final, Guard's been doing it. And we're talking about guards. We're talking about 6'6". Like 6'6" is not supposed to win in the NBA. Anything before Mike, you're not supposed to win in the league. Give me.
I disagree with that, bro.
Isaiah Thomas.
More than one. Isaiah Thomas. But listen, I've told you a million times, there's only 2 smalls that have done it. Steph on the first Golden State team, and he didn't win the Finals MVP. Isaiah on his team, and he won.
But they had bigs on that team.
They ain't have Hall of
Bogut
Fame.
on that team?
They ain't have Hall of Fame bigs.
No, not at all.
Right, they ain't have the Shaq. They ain't have the dominant big.
No,
right.
no,
They
didn't.
even have Sean Kemp or Barkley.
No.
They ain't have nobody in that caliber.
No.
Right. So these guards can get you to a chip.
Yes.
Isaiah Thomas got a college chip. Isaiah Thomas is a different animal. That's why he's got to be in your top 5 point guards all the time. It's a different animal. Isaiah was doing it in the tough age with a handle, with a Kyrie handle. Niggas hand checking. Like he had all this. He made it to the league playing that style of basketball. Just like Chris Jackson made it to the league playing Steph Curry style of basketball. Chucking. These niggas were special. But the NBA wasn't. They wasn't ready for Abdul Rahim. They wasn't ready.
Yeah, it's different now though.
Like come off the bench, Monte Ellis. Like, no, we're not ready for this. Imagine Monte coming out now.
Yeah.
Imagine Monte coming out now. They're getting the team. They're getting the team. So now you see what I'm talking about before and now. Before and now, because this is what we was talking about.
Absolutely.
I enjoy that before and now conversation. Like,
yeah.
I don't think it's close. No matter how tall you are, somebody got to get you the basketball. No matter how big you are, how dominant you are, somebody got to get you involved.
Yeah.
Where I have the basketball in my hand, I can make everybody.
Unless you Giannis.
Make everybody else better.
Giannis.
You know I'll make everybody
Giannis. Giannis grabs the ball and he goes.
Of course, I'll make everybody better. I'm the guard.
So Steph Curry's top 5 best player in the planet right now.
Steph Curry. I mean, when Steph Curry, he wins games. Steph Curry he makes big shots. He capable of making 10 threes in the game. Take you out the game. Take your crowd out the game. Take your coaching staff out the game. Top 5. He ain't played last year, but when the kid was playing and going to finals, yes, he was top 5.
You got 5 over him, twin.
Yeah, and Steph Curry probably in my top 5 point guards all time.
I don't got. It's not about 5 point guard or 5 over him, but I would say Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and LeBron got 3 of the 5 spots, right?
Yeah.
Yo, that's 6'10", 6'11", and 6'7" right there.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Out of the top 5 already, you know what I'm saying?
Although it took 2 of them to come together to win.
The best players are tall.
It took 2 of them to come together to win, and your third one had to go play with Steph to win. Steph didn't need his 6'11", because he's a big now in this NBA. KD, right or wrong? Is KD a big in this NBA? He went over there, led them in rebounds, led them in block shots.
Now he's a big.
No, in this NBA, is he a big in this NBA? When he did Golden State, did he play big? He didn't need
big. He's not a
it's
big.
A small line, though.
Okay, I hear you, but did he play that big component? Was he their rim protector?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, he was. He led them in blocks. He led them in rebounds. 2 years ago, they raved about his defense. They didn't know he played defense.
So now they make him a big. So that
no,
makes
he
him
goes
a
to
big.
the system. But it took a small, as good as him, because Steph Curry triple double in the finals. Average triple double. KD won the finals MVP, but the kid averaged triple double. A small as good as him to win the chip, where we know Westbrook wasn't as good as him. Westbrook is not as good as KD, and he's not as good as Steph. KD went there. When Steph took a team with him and Clay guard to the finals. Again, the big can't do it by himself, but the small can. Not by himself, but the small, having the basketball in his hand.
With the small being the best player on the team, you can go further than with the big being the best player on the team.
Not only the best player, but not having somebody else that's as good as him.
Got you.
Because you need that somebody else. Stop looking what Nash did for Stoudemire.
Yeah, in today's NBA, I think that's safe to say, though.
No, and even back in in any old NBA,
yeah,
the game starts from the perimeter.
Yeah, it does.
The game starts from the perimeter, and any old NBA, because Lefty could say Bill Russell didn't have. Yeah, he had the Cousy kid. Cousy looked like a globetrotter in his prime. From just to take someone out there. Like nobody else could fuck with him out there.
Nah, yeah, every great big that won.
All right, now we're gonna go to
Will.
Will didn't win until he had somebody as good as him.
Yeah.
Shaq, his finals, Penny, Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And I already named them all. I don't have to go back. But with Jason Kidd, Allen Iverson, Chauncey Billups, and I don't know if you want to count Ben Wallace into that because he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. You know, I don't want to. He's more Rudy Goldberg than.
He was just a role player.
But he was a big, he was athletic, he was able to run and protect the rim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it worked from like Bam. Like Bam is now. Like Bam from Miami.
Bam is more offensive than Ben Wallace.
He's more Ben Wallace, right? But he's more Ben Wallace than anything else, right?
Yeah.
Right. So these small can lead the team to a chip. You've seen Reggie Miller lead the team to a chip. You know what I'm saying? Where the big it hasn't been proven that more like you, the best player on your team, and you don't have nobody else around you, that you can lead the team to a chip. Where the guards, yeah, they can.
Yeah, guards can.
They can. Yeah,
I
that's
got you.
like that's the, we're talking about before and now. That's not going to change. So all that length argument, that's not going to change because the big is still going to need his counterpart.
Yeah, and a guard can do it without the big.
Now you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I get you. And I ain't gonna hold y'all old heads up much longer than this. We've been on here an hour and a half already. And you know what I just realized? It is live. It wasn't supposed to be, but it was.
That nigga left his
I was recording it.
That nigga left. What's wrong, left?
That shit was live.
So what?
Yeah, I didn't mean for it to be, bro.
That's good basketball talk. It's not like we haven't had 100 of these face to face. What's the problem?
No, we good.
Right. Listen, man. It's basketball, man. We can't. It's strictly opinions, man.
Nah, I got you, though. I got you, Quinn. Don't worry about it. I got you. I understand what it is. I got you. So I'm gonna sign off for this. I'm gonna hit your jack. I got you. Stay left. I appreciate y'all, man. You already know, man.
You already know. Drew, you already know.
Word, my brothers.